Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. What's up, y'all? It's your cousin Sassy. I'm right here making it make sense. Like I said on the video before, I'm a little hoarse because I was at a City Girls theme Zoom baby shower and we was doing all the most. I literally left my goal right off. I don't got a job. I am a job. Well, I do have a job, but my job is to make it make sense. So right now, we about to really get into the next part of like what actually is snitching. Cause I feel like a lot of y'all really just think that you street. Like maybe you like dated a nigga in the hood or like your cousin in the hood or like you just listen to a lot of locks. Whatever the case, like you really applying that word at times when it don't apply. Particularly when it come to like that whole Megan Thee Stallion situation. And that really had me hot. It had me hot. That folks was like, she a snitch. Like, no. So, as I always do, Sassy don't know everything. I got somebody here who could speak very eloquently to the topic, and we gonna continue to do that. We got my boy Mysonne, part 2, make it make sense, snitching. So, why do you think folks is like throwing that word out? Because that seems so clear to me. That seems so clear. So, why do you think folks is like just like throwing that out all like willy-nilly and loosey-goosey all of a sudden? Like, I mean, to me, like that should not be confusing, but I feel like folks is really confusing it.
I think it's just ignorance. Sometimes people just don't know. And when you don't know, you make statements that don't really make sense. So, when you look at situations like domestic violence, when you look at women being abused by men, when you look at, regular civilians who go to work every day, and a criminal deciding that they want to impose their will on them. What is the recourse for that individual if they're not in the same streets? If they're not in the streets, they're not going to shoot you. They're not going to engage in the underworld activities. So the only recourse they have is to utilize the police to get justice. So when you are a criminal or you're involved in crime and you're a street person and you impose your will on a regular civilian, the only recourse that civilian has is to utilize the law.
I mean, that's just that. Now, I just would like to know, like, once somebody is labeled a snitch, what does that actually mean? Because I know, like, I don't like that term, and I would never want that, like, put on me, because I done seen certain things attached to that. So, because it's very, to me, like when people throwing that around, they don't really know what they really throwing around.
Yeah, the bottom line is labeling of a snitch is a very bad label because it means that you can't be trusted. It means that you are very low caliber. It means that your moral compass is low. A lot of people just attach it to crime all the time. And what it does is it shows the lack of integrity you have. And it's unfortunate that it's been just attributed to crime because you can be somebody that works at a regular job and me and you is chilling and the boss come and say, yo, somebody moved this, somebody need to tell me who did it so we get fired. It's a lack of integrity. It's a lack of integrity because I need to know that the person I'm riding with is able to stand up in any situation. A lot of people throw the word snitch around because they don't know anything else to say. And a lot of times it's also thrown around because people want you to be quiet about you doing some wrong shit to them, especially when you're a civilian. They want to be able to take advantage of you. Like you're a woman and a man want to beat you up and they say, oh, you going to snitch to the police? What else I'm going to do? I can't beat you up. I can't beat you. How else I'm supposed to get some level of justice? What's the recourse for me? If you're a person and you're a regular civilian and you working every day and you work hard to stay out of jail and stay away from the streets and you chose a different path and somebody who chose that path wants to do wrong to you, then the only recourse you have is to get the law involved because you made a decision that you don't want to. You're not trying to bust no gun. You're not trying to be in the streets trying to get no, retaliation. So the only recourse that you have as a civilian is to call the law, and you should call the law. Now, if you involved in the streets and you making sure you busting your gun and you shooting and you hustling and you imposing all this will on people, and when it's time for you to deal with that consequences, you don't want to deal with those consequences and you want to utilize the law, that's a weak individual. I tell people all the time, don't engage in crime. See, people say, oh, you promoting the crime life. No, I'm telling you, don't engage in crime, because if most people understood the consequences of engaging in crime, they wouldn't want to engage in crime. See, if snitches like 6ix9ine had to do the 40 years, then these little kids would be like, you know what? I ain't doing that shit right there. I'm going to stay all the way away from that, because I don't want to do 40 years. But what happens is, when he able to tell on somebody for what he did so that they can do their time, they look and say, yo, all I got to do is that. I could be in the streets, I can bust guns, I can call hits on niggas, I can do whatever I want, and if I tell on a nigga, I'm going to be scot-free.
There's a code. There's a code. That's all.
It's a life code. It's called integrity. The code is called integrity, Sassy.
You right. You so right, my son. That's why I knew you was the one. I was like, this need to get talked about. It got to get talked about. And I was like, who could talk about it? And then I went on the Instagrams, and then you came up and you was like, and I was like, this is who it is. So I hope y'all understand. If you didn't before, I hope you do now, because my son done broke it down for you, okay? He done kicked it to you real straight. My son, can you just, as a side note, please tell folks how they can be a part of supporting the work that you're doing right now?
Well, follow us at Until Freedom. You go to untilfreedom.com, so you can see the work we're doing right now. Our whole mission is justice for Breonna Taylor. So we need you to be on that same path with us. It's been almost over 160 days, and nobody's been arrested for murdering this woman. So we have relocated to Kentucky. So follow Until Freedom to follow everything that we're doing. If you're in Kentucky right now, we're about to have a couple of events, empowering events, and we're doing a march on Tuesday. So please, if you can, uplift it or be there. We appreciate you.
And we appreciate you. Tell Tamika I said what's up. Tell Tamika I said what's good. And you know what, my son, we so happy to see that you done turn your whole life like around into this space where snitching ain't even about the conversation. What it's really about is, let's get these cops defunded. Let's get these people held accountable for doing the fuck shit that they doing. And let's elevate everybody in the process.
Amen.
Thank you, baby. Thank you to my son for giving us the information. Listen, let us know in the comments, like, do you feel like that word is being misused? Like, do you feel like people really need to understand, like, the actual ramifications and the realities about that word? Because I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of foolery. So I felt like it was necessary. Now, also want to just let you know, if you find yourself in a court with a short nigga from Canada who be repping and has a questionable hairline, be careful. He might shoot you. Don't say cause Sassy and never tell you nothing. Sassy.
Smart, funny, and